What do you mean? Okay. Also, okay, so who would like to read 1621? Very important verse. Krishna is telling one particular reason we are not able to um, why we are not able to take discussion constantly. Let me recite the verse. Antasmin janmani bhavan mamam drashtum viharhati avipakva kashayana durdarshoham kuyogina. Okay, what word meaning? Anybody want to read what word?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, shall I read?
Yes, Mataji.
Hanta, oh, Narada, Asmin, this, Janmani, duration of life, Bhavan, yourself, Ma, not, Mam, me, Drashtum, to see, Iha, here, Arhati, deserve, Avipakva, immature, Kashayanam, material dirt, Durdarsha, difficult to be seen, Aham, I, Uyoginam, incomplete in service.
Translation, Mataji.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O Narada, the Lord spoke. I regret that during this lifetime you will not be able to see me anymore. Those who are incomplete in service and who are not completely free from all material taints can hardly see me.
Very beautiful. Okay, anyone else wants to read the purport?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I can read.
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you.
Purport by His Divine Grace, Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The personality of God is described in the Bhagavad Gita as the most pure, the supreme, and the absolute truth. There is no trace of a tinge of materiality in his person. Thus, one who has slightest tinge of material affection cannot approach him.
So, which verse is Prabhupada quoting here? The first line of the purport. No. He is referring to Param Brahma Param Dhama Pavitram Paramam Bhavan. Pavitram, Param Pavitram, no, most pure. And Param Brahma, supreme and absolute truth. Param Dhama Pavitram Paramam Bhavan, right? So that is the verse that Prabhupada is quoting here. Yes, Prabhu. Sujandra Prabhu, please continue.
Okay. There is no trace of tinge of materiality in his person, and thus he has one who has the slightest tinge of material affection cannot approach him. The beginning of devotional service starts from the point when one is freed from at least two forms of material modes, namely the mode of passion and the mode of ignorance. The result is exhibited by the signs of being freed from kama, lust, lobha, covetousness. This is to say that one must be freed from the desire for sense gratification, sense satisfaction, and avarice for the sense gratification. The balanced mode of nature is goodness, and to be completely freed from the material tinges is to become free from the mode
all material tinges.
All material tinges is to become free from the mode of goodness also. To search The audience of God in a lonely forest is considered to be the mode of goodness. One cannot go out into the forest to attain spiritual perfection, but that does not mean that one can see the Lord personally there. One must be completely freed from all material attachment and be situated on the plane of transcendence, which alone will help the devotee get in personal touch with the personality of God. The best method is that one should live at a place where the transcendental form of Lord is worshipped. The temple of the Lord is a transcendental place, whereas the forest is a materially good habitation. A neophyte devotee is always recommended to worship the deity of the Lord, Archana, rather than go into the forest to search out the Lord. Devotional service begins from the process of Archana, which is better than going in the forest. In his present life, which is completely freed from all material hankerings, Sri Narad Muni does not go into the forest, although he can turn every place into Vaikuntha by his presence only.
So in the present life, when he says which life he is talking about?
Narada Muni's life.
Current life, not the son of a maid servant. Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. Although he can turn every place into Vaikuntha by his presence only. He travels from one planet to another to convert man, gods, Kinaras, Gandharvas, Rishis, Munis, and others to become devotees of Lord. By his activities, he has engaged many devotees like Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruv Maharaj, and many others in the transcendental service of the Lord. A pure devotee of the Lord therefore follows in the footsteps of the great devotee like Narada and Prahlada and engages his whole time in glorifying the Lord by process of kirtana. Such a preaching process is transcendental to all material qualities.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. So this verse is loads of nectar and wisdom. Let's start off with the verse itself. In the previous two verses, what happened? Narad Muni was trying to see the Lord. I decided to see again the transcendental form of the Lord. But despite my attempts to concentrate upon the heart with eagerness to view that form again, I could not see him anymore. And thus dissatisfied, I was very much agreed. So he did that attempt without any idea of what to expect. And he got the darshan. And that was like completely transformed him into ecstasy. And like he could realize that, as he says, no, like uh, uh, being exceedingly overpowered by feelings of happiness. Even every part of the body became separately enlivened. Being absorbed in an ocean of ecstasy, I could not see both myself and the Lord. This is verse number 17. And then in 18, he says that transcendental form of the Lord as it satisfies the mind's desire and at once erases all mental incongruities. Upon losing that form, I suddenly got up, being perturbed, as is usual when loses that which is desirable. So he saw the Lord's form and he had no expectation, no idea what to expect. But the thing is, he was following a process as taught by the sages, Bhaktivedantas, the rishis. And while he was doing it, we discussed in detail last week about what is understanding of this mechanical process. Why Prabhupada is calling it as a mechanical process. Mechanical process means you take Krishna out of the equation. You think that the process itself will help, Krishna is not required anymore. Right? So everything is like the sun which is rising out of its own accord. Krishna also comes on his own accord. We may do our endeavors, but mercy is completely independent of our endeavors, right? But he's still trying. He's trying his best. Nathan is still trying to see the Lord somehow or other. And then this point is very important. Seeing my attempts in that lonely place, the previous verse which we before this one, what we read just now. Seeing my attempts in that lonely place, the personality of God, it is transcendental to all mundane descriptions, spoke to me with gravity and pleasing words, just to mitigate my grief. This makes something, excuse me, this makes some very important, a very important point here. When he says seeing atoms in that lonely place, means Krishna identifies and uh, reciprocates to our hardships and hard works, our sincere endeavors, sincere efforts. Narad Muni is struggling lonely in a lonely place. He is not with like hundreds of people around, and it's always easier to do devotional service when you have hundreds of devotees around, and only talk about Krishna, nothing else. So, whereas when we are in the middle of so many uh, like karmic, it's a kind of infested with karmic tendency, too much of passion and ignorance, then even though we may be surrounded by so many people, we'll still be lonely because we don't have devotees around, like who are like-minded. When I say devotees, like-minded devotees. So there also we'll feel very lonely. But still, when we are making our attempts, not trying and cribbing that no, this is not a place for me to do devotional service. I will do it when it is favorable, etc., etc. Instead of doing that, in spite of, irrespective of whatever the situation may be, I will continue my seva, I will continue my devotional service, etc. When we have that thought, then Krishna will identify that, okay, this Jivatma is suffering, but he is still traveling, he is still having faith in the process. So when the results are not happening and still you are continuing, that shows our unflinching faith in that process. And Krishna sees that person. It is very easy when results are positive, when we are like, when we are, everything is favorable, so many people are following this, that, etc. It's very easy to follow. Good things are happening, whatever we want, whatever we like, it happens. We desire, it happens. If we think that is the ultimate thing of devotional service, then we have gone wrong. It doesn't matter things go well or not well. We may want a very peaceful place to stay and chant and no unnecessary disturbance, etc. But Krishna is not so pleased with that kind of devotional service. There also we are expecting something that Krishna, I want these things to be smooth. Only then my devotional service I will do better. That Krishna does not really like it, since he doesn't give mercy when you are in a very peaceful position. When you're you will get extra attention only when we are studying, whether it is school studies or whatever maybe, right? When we are not, when we have everything all right, and we are doing well, then we'll say, okay, yes, all the facilities at home, parents are there, nice prasadam, everything is there, people are there to take care of you, nice house, nice facility, whatever you want is available. There you are doing all right, that is fine. But so the other side is like you have everything, but you are still not working, you are very lackluster. That you see a side. Krishna will not even bother about that person. He's not even in the list of Krishna's list for Krishna's mercy. But when nothing is available, when everything is going against the grains, at that time when we are keeping the faith and continuing the process, that is when Krishna casts his merciful glance. Like, remember, we were talking about it last Saturday, that when no realizations come, at that time we should see that no realization is the best realization. And the no realizations come, that also is a realization. Because we appreciate that realization, we getting the realization is also in Krishna's hand. Krishna has to come. Real word is there in realization, we said, right? So when Krishna wants to come only, he will come in that way. So even in unfavorable situation, when somebody is holding on to the post, sorry, not post in the sense that the pillar post, I mean. So holding on to it in the situation, tightly holding on to Krishna's lotus feet, and continuing on with this seva with unflinching faith, that is when Krishna showers his mercy. In fact, that is why seeing my attempts in the lonely place. Krishna says, Narada Muni says that, isn't it? Seeing my attempts in that lonely place, the personality of Godhead spoke to me with gravity and pleasing words. So Krishna saw that, oh, this poor living entity is struggling hard to see me again. So let me give him a little bit of that mercy. So he starts to speak. And this is the verse that Krishna starts to speak. Now, another 4 verses Krishna will speak and then he'll stop. These 4 verses are the best verses to understand and contemplate and observe. Just they show how much Krishna cares for us. Many times, Krishna does these kind of merciful actions in a very indirect way. It would look like Krishna is not merciful at all, but then actually that's where lies the real mercy. That is why, like we discussed last week, this verse number 19, Narada Muni says, I was very much dissatisfied. But verse number 26 says he is very well satisfied. So between 21 and 26, something happened. 4 verses that Krishna speaks. So it is very important to understand that seeing my attempt in my lonely place means Krishna watches us wherever we are. Now we are all in our own four walls. We may be connected together, but we are all in these 4 walls. I am talking, you are all listening. So what we are doing, Krishna soul knows, he observes. Not only during the class, even before. Every moment that we are spending, Krishna sees. And that is what seeing my attempt. We are attempting to understand these verses. So that is where Krishna is watching us. Okay, every word these people are trying to understand. Prabhupada had written with so much dedication to his Guru's order. Let's see if this living entity is putting his efforts to understand it. So this seeing as attempt just to mitigate my grief. So when we are not able to see somebody, at least when we are hearing that person, we will feel little bit mitigation, isn't it? A little bit our grief will subside. So that is why he is speaking, but he is speaking some words which is going to be really, really beautiful. That's what he is coming here. Janmani Bhavan. Bhavan means great person. Anta means very nice, very nice. I am really pleased. When we are really pleased with somebody, we call them as Anta. Anta Asmin. In this duration of life. Duration of life means he has included the whole life. Starting from that point till the end of Narada Muni's life, you will not be able to see me anymore. This is like a thunderbolt. Normally, when you hear this statement, it falls like a thunderbolt. But then, actually, the verses next to these things will be very beautiful to consider along. But Krishna is giving reasons also for why he will not be able to see anymore. The 3 things he is telling. These 3 words are very, very important. Right? Avipakva, immature in devotional service. Kashayana. Kashayana means material dirts. Yogi means incomplete in service. Right? Each word will take so much time to understand Prabhu's Mataji's. Actually speaking, we can meditate for the whole life also. This Avipakva. Kashayana, Yogina. Avipakva means immature. Okay. Let's come to this at the last. Let's do the other 2 first. Avipakva is a huge thing to meditate on. Now, Kashayana means material dirts. Right? What is a material dirt? Material dirt is our, see, it's like whether you take a tea cup, say, suppose you are drinking tea. What will happen? The tea, the powder, no? It gets mixed with the milk or whatever, and then it changes the color. But then the pieces, the powder that goes deep under the bottom. the top part looks clean, but the bottom part is dirty. So now, when you drink up to that point, 3/4 of the glass or whatever, you can easily drink. But the last part, you cannot drink, isn't it? So that is a material dirt. And the second thing is, before drinking also, even if the cup is full, the dirt is there. From the top, it will look like it is clean, but when you stir it, all the things come out. How many times we have seen that in our own life also, we practice devotional service for so long, but then suddenly some trigger happens and we start shouting or screaming, become angry, disturbed, agitated, and all that. One small thing that triggers our ego, right? So that is happening because the mode of passion and ignorance are not completely engaged in Krishna's service yet. It's not purified yet. So that is one of the main reasons. There is material dirt, right? So eventually, that is a result of our imperfect devotional service, incomplete devotional service, and it has to be somehow or other dissolved. So the purity of our devotional service eventually dissolves these material dirts also. Right now, our devotional service is impure. That is why it is not dissolving the material dirts. For example, this verse number 325 is 32. Jarayati Ashuya Kosham Nigiranam Analoyatha. It's a beautiful verse. Devotional service is the only means by which you can 325, 32, correct. No, 30, 33, sorry, 325, 33. Jarayati Ashviya Kosham Nigiranam Analoyatha. Bhakti, devotional service, is the only, dissolves the subtle body of the living entity without separate effort. Just as fire in the stomach digests all that we eat. This is the verse. Very, very, very powerful and important verse. 325, 33. Right? It actually, without separate effort, is a beautiful words phrase. Because apart from devotional service, you don't really need anything else. Sometimes what it is, devotional service is okay, but it is not enough. Let me go and do something else. Let me go and do something else. We need not do that. Even if you do that, if you are doing that as an offering to Krishna, that is accepted. If you are not doing it as an offering to Krishna, just for building the body or some, increasing the mind power and this and that, then it may not be, you may not engage it. So eventually it will be again dragged away. So that is why this word, this incomplete in service, material dirt also can be dissolved only by the pure devotional service, and incomplete devotional service only accumulate more and more material dirt. Incomplete and improper devotional service. That is why again and again that part is highlighted that we have to improve the quality of our sadhana. How much more we can do our devotional service with more focus and attention, more dedication, more commitment, taking shelter of Krishna even more fervently. When we do our study, reading, and chanting, and our other process of devotional service, that will make our devotional service more perfect and more powerful to dissolve these material dirt. Okay, that is why those are the two things. We will come to this Pakwa thing soon. But before that, I want to focus on these two words. Nicely, Prabhupada has written here that the beginning of devotional service starts from the point when one is freed from at least two forms of material modes, namely the modes of passion and ignorance. Now, which verse? This should trigger a verse in your mind. Beginning of devotional service is when this Rajas and Tamas, when these two gunas are dissolved. That is the beginning of devotional service. How many of you remember that verse? If you read verse number 1 to 19, after that, Nashta Prayesh Abhadreshu, we have two verses, no? Snutam Sapata Krishnaha, Punya Shravana Kirtanaha, Pradyantasto Yabhadrani, Idunoti, Suhrit Satam. Right? When we start hearing Krishna's Katha, Swakata Krishnaha, Punya Shravan, when we do that, then Hridayantosto Abhadrani, all the anxieties, disturbances, dissatisfaction, everything, they are all Vidunoti, they are all completely cleansed. Then Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu, all the Abhadras are destroyed. Then Nityam Bhagavata Seva. When you do Nityam Bhagavata Seva, every day we take this medicine, no, and some medicines prescribed for us, we take every day. Slowly, the disease goes away. The same way, every day when we take the medicine of Bhagavatam, then slowly the diseases of Kama and Krodha, Raja and Tama Gunas, the exhibition, they go away. Right? Kama, Krodha, Lobha and all this stuff. Bhagavati Uttama Shloke, Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. When this, when the Krishna Katha is heard, then slowly the Raja and Tama Gunas, they go away. How do they go? Tada Rajastamo Bhavaha. Next verse number 19. That's how when we keep on hearing Krishna Katha, the Raja Tamo Bhava, Kama Lobha Dayaschaye, Kama and Lobha. Rajas Tama, Kama and Lobha. You see, the effects of the effect of Rajas is Kama, the effect of Tamoguna is Lobha. And here, Cheta Yete Ranavidam Sitam Satya Prasidati. Only when these two effects of Rajas and how will you know that the Rajas and Tamas is gone? The effect of this Rajas and Tamas is Kama and Lobha. When this Kama and Lobha gradually reduced and almost goes to nil, that is when we can realize that we are the Raja and Tamoguna are dissipated and we are established in the mode of goodness. And when we are in the mode of Sitam Satya Prasidati, then when we are Sattva-guna, then what happens? Evam Prasanna Manaso, Bhagavad Bhakti Yogataka. That is when we can be truly cheerful. Only in the Sattva-guna we can be truly cheerful. In the Tamo-guna we cannot be truly cheerful. The Tamo-guna and Rajo-guna, we will be like up, down, like that. Very temporary and very flimsy like thing that happiness and distress keep coming. And then, as Prabhupada says here, Bhagavad Bhakti Yogataha, that point, we are doing devotional service in the beginning also, we are doing devotional service in the later point also. In between, there is some purification that's happening. First, when we are doing devotional service, we are doing with all the lower modes, Rajas, Tamas, Kama, Lobha, everything. But that process of devotional service itself will purify these negative qualities, lower modes. And we become purified. And then what happens? Evam Prasanna Manaso. We become Prasanna Manas. Completely we become Prasanna Chetsa. Completely our mind becomes completely cheerful. Bhagavad Bhakti, here you are doing mature devotional service. Initially you are doing with some certain expectation. I am doing devotional service. Krishna has to come like this. When some favorable things happen only, we are happy. Otherwise we become disturbed. Some mercy comes, we become happy. Nothing comes, we become disturbed. So if we are alone, we don't even have any interest in reading Bhagavatam. Like that, when we are doing that, then Krishna will not show his mercy. But here Narada Muni is teaching us that even in that lonely place, he was doing devotional service. Even though he was not getting Krishna's darshan, still he was struggling hard. He did not say that, no, anyway, Krishna is not coming. What's the point? Let's just move on. Doesn't matter. One darshan only I got. No, that's not there. You just keep doing it even when things are not going in our favor, right? And even beyond that, we have to go to Suddha Sattva. That's what Prabhupada says in this purport also, in 1, 2, 19 and 18, these purports also, right? If we can, only in the Suddha Sattva, we can actually realize the Vasudeva platform, Vasudeva consciousness, the state of existence, right? So coming to this verse, actually Prabhupada writes something very beautiful here. The result is exhibited, 1621, I'm reading the purport. The result is exhibited by the signs of being freed from kama, lust, and lobha, covetousness. You know one thing, this word covetousness is different, is a little different from greed. Greed means I'm just greedy for something more. But covetous means you want to grab something which you are not entitled for, which you don't deserve. That makes the word even more clear and uh, more clear and deeper in its understanding, more correct. It is more closer to the word lobha. Lobha means you want something which you don't deserve. So somehow or other, hook or crook, I do some shortcut also to grab more and more which I don't deserve, which I don't, I'm not entitled for. You see, simply greed means I will say, oh yes, greed, he wants to get more. No, but you want to get more that which you don't deserve, that which is not needed. That is what is called covetousness. Covet means I grab from here, grab from there. I will not. I will, actually, I will not need it, but I want to. I want it. I grab it. So Prabhupada is using this. Covetousness is a older word. Nowadays, nobody uses this word. It's archaic English. No, so that word is very more closer to reality. Anything that I want more than what is needed right now is actually, I don't deserve to have that. I just say, oh, 10 years later I will need, 20 years later I will need. Who knows who will be alive 10 years, 20 years later? So we should not be too much, and not only that, someone else is having it, I want that. Someone else is having it, I want this. It may not really be. Nowadays, whatever we have, it's all superfluous in nature. When we see our grandfather, grandmother, and all, they will be simply happy with lying down in the chata itself, right? They will not need all these big facilities and all that. One day our AC doesn't function, we feel really restless. We don't even get sleep, and we have to find ways and all these things. To that extent, we are addicted to the artificial necessities. Actually, this body doesn't need much. The more and more we are increasing our artificial necessities, the more our covetousness increases, our burden increases. You know, and then we are dependent on so many people. Sapna Mataji, sorry, I didn't see your hand raised for a while.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, are you able to hear me?
Yes, Mataji. We are able to hear you. Are you able to hear us?
Prabhuji, what is this? What are the what one if one must be in sure what he must be feeling, because we know
Sorry,
the
Mataji.
symptoms of Raja and
Sorry.
Tama.
Sorry.
We
Come
know
again.
we know the symptoms of Raja and Tama, but we don't know the symptoms of Shuddha Sattva. Can you explain what is Shuddha Sattva? How does it feel?
Shuddha Sattva is the state of maturity. We are completely mature. We completely accept whatever Krishna arranges. We don't go and complain to Krishna that you didn't give this, you didn't give that. And whatever Krishna gives us, we are completely happy with it. We say that this is what Krishna thinks that I need it for my thing, and I will just continue using that to do the devotional service to the best of the ability. And whether he gives or not, we are completely happy, and we are happy only by making Krishna happy. And another thing is that, like how Prabhupada was, always the thought will be about how to make Krishna happy, how to please Krishna, how to keep Krishna comfortable. What will Krishna be thinking for me to do now? How should I do this? So everything, when they put it as Krishna in the center and about the pleasure of Krishna, then that is the state of Shuddha Sattva. And in the Shuddha Sattva, you will not be worried about your receiving Krishna's mercy, receiving Krishna's darshan. You will be more happy when someone else gets more mercy than you. You will want others to get more mercy than you. Like how Prahlad Maharaj was praying. Like Prahlad Maharaj was praying, no, that let me be the last. You please take all the others first. These people are struggling without realizing the importance of your devotional service. So like that, a Shuddha Sattva person,
Got it,
the person in the Shuddha Sattva
Prabhuji.
platform will not even think about himself or herself. They will just be thinking about Krishna and how to please Krishna. And Krishna will be pleased when all the surrounding living entities are brought to them. So they will be extra compassionate, extra merciful towards such living.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Haribol.
Thank you, Mataji. Yes, Chanchalpati Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandat Ram.
Mataji.
Till this time, what topic you have covered, I am having 2-3 questions.
Uh-huh.
It is a very basic question. It may seem silly, but you have said that we should be in like-minded devotee.
Mhm.
Now, like-minded devotee, that generally, if what my perspective is that I am going to temple, I am going to my local temple, ISKCON Dwarka. Once I am going to ISKCON Dwarka, I am associating with all devotees who are there. So in that also, I have to.
Sorry, last word was missing, Prabhu. In that also?
That also in
Yes.
Dwarka congregation, I should go for few devotees, or I can interact with all or any one of them.
No, Prabhu, it's like this, Prabhu. See, like-minded does not mean that, you know, what you like, the other person also likes. That is one way of understanding like-mindedness. If you see like-minded in a broad way, if you are doing your service to please Krishna and the other person is also doing service to please Krishna, that is also like-minded. You may want to please Krishna by cooking, you may want to please Krishna by distribution of books. Right? So the understanding should be in the broader sense. Initially, you may think that, oh, I am interested in reading books. I will associate only with those who are interested in reading books. That's a bit closer minded. When you bring it wider and wider, you will see that that person is so happy to please Krishna. So there is always good to associate with them and take their inspiration from them. How much they are willing to serve Krishna. I should also serve Krishna in the way that is that I am naturally able to. Right? So, but in the process of long-term association now, Prabhu, see, if suppose somebody is cooking for the deities, and you are supposed to be giving Bhagavatam class, right? Now you both have to associate. How will you associate? You cannot stand there and read Bhagavatam to that person who is running around washing pots and cutting vegetables. He'll be busy in that. You cannot run behind him and say, Prabhu, now you should read Bhagavatam. Come on, I will read. So, Prabhu, please put some recorded lecture. I will keep cutting the vegetables and cooking and all that. My focus is here. I have to somehow or other get it done before the Poga time. I have to get it ready. Isn't it, Prabhu? The thing is, he is also like-minded to us. But the thing is, his service, the nature of his service is different. Your nature of your service is different. If I sit there and do, he will disturb him. Isn't it? So the time you spend with him may not be so much. But you can associate with devotee, learn that inspiration, how dedicated the devotee is, and try to apply the same thing in your service, which is natural for you. Whereas now in our situation, we are all sitting here and discussing for 1.5 hours. We want to go more deeper and deeper into each word and try to understand. That way, there is a commonality in the service, nature of the service that we are doing. You understand? Here, there can be longer association. We can take each other's association. We understand each other's language, how we are learning, and the eagerness, inquisitiveness to learn more. So this is one way of offering our service to Krishna. Is Krishna, right? Because Prabhupada says this point in the end, such a preaching process is transcendental to all material qualities. The pure devotee of the Lord therefore follows in the footsteps of the great devotees like Narada and Prahlada and engages whole time in glorifying the Lord by the process of Kirtana. Now this Kirtana is not only glorifying the Lord by preaching. That devotee who is cooking or washing pots is also doing Kirtana. That's what Prabhupada always highlighted in his, but his nature of service is different. What will you do? You may not spend all the time with him in the kitchen. If you are in the kitchen, you have to assist him. You cannot be sitting there and reading Bhagavatam. or chanting your japa there, isn't it? The other, you see the devotee is cutting vegetables, time is running out, nobody is there to wash the pot, the devotee is supposed to wash the pot, is not there, you go and wash the pot. And that pot washing may take an hour or half an hour or whatever, that time you are doing that seva. So he is trying to please his Guru and Krishna, and you are assisting him to please Guru and Krishna. That way you are helping him. But if you have the Bhagavatam class service that day, and if you go and sit there and do the pot washing, who will do the Bhagavatam class? You understand? So there you have to go into your, say maybe sit and discuss with somebody who can give you some nice ideas, or you hear Prabhupada's lecture, or Guru Maharaj lecture, or anyone else's lecture, or do you yourself study and sit and read, study and make notes. That is the way of doing your service. You understand? So whatever service we are allotted, we have to do it according to the extent that we don't disturb the other devotee who is doing his service to Krishna. At the best, we should only try to assist the devotee in making his service more comfortable for him. Otherwise, it should not be a disturbance. So like-mindedness has at two levels you have to understand, Prabhu. One level is when we are all interested in pleasing Krishna, we are all like-minded. But you may not be able to spend the ample time with that devotee whose nature of service may be different, your nature of service may be different. Later he may come and tell you how this pot washing and cooking and all is helping him increase his consciousness, purifying his consciousness. You get inspired. And you can share something from Prabhupada's quote or something that devotee will feel very inspired. Right? So, according to the time, place, and circumstances, these words have to be applied. When we sit together, we discuss, we clear our consciousness, we purify our consciousness. Like you're asking a question. It is not that you are in ignorance that you're asking a question. Krishna is inspiring you to ask that question. So that question is inspiring me, or anyone else may also want to share their realization. Then that will be a nice exchange of Shravana Kirtanam here, virtually. Right? So here the like-mindedness is that applying the like-mindedness is different, because we are all like-minded in the sense that today we all come together to do this one service. Here, suppose say one devotee is there who is washing pots and hearing this discussion. If he is unmuted and he makes all noise in the background washing the pots, then devotees will get disturbed. So we have to be sensitive to the situation, time, place, and circumstances, and what service we are doing. That is the main thing, right? I hope that helps, Prabhu.
Can I ask this question in one step further ahead?
Yes.
Situation. I am putting just a situation. Not I am pointing out any personality. I am just putting a situation. Suppose I am understanding Bhagavatam under your guidance in this Bhagavad Vichar group. Suppose, for example, and at the same time, I am listening to someone else also, or I am associating with someone else. In that case, I am just putting a situation. Suppose you say to me, Chanchalapati Prabhu, you will not listen to that person. You are under me. I am teaching you. That is enough for you. And I am getting inspired from you also, and I am getting inspired from Mr. XYZ devotee also. So in that case, if I have to take decision, I am feeling something guilty that whether I should say no to you or whether I should leave them. In that situation, if I am listening from both, तो मतलब आप सिचुएशन समझ रहे हैं इसमें कैसे मतलब डिसीजन लेना है, क्या करना है, कैसे करना है, ये जानना चाह रहा हूं.
So Prabhu, to tell you honestly, if I have to be very blunt, mature devotee will not make the statement that you should be only with me and you should not listen to anyone else. Let me be very frank here, right? We should not be in a controlling mode to anybody. For that matter, we should let the devotee choose what he wants to and how they are interested. That is where the controlling propensity actually starts from. Really, when I start controlling, it's a subtle way of controlling, and then it becomes gross eventually. We should never do that, because we are not actually doing this for that devotee's well-being, but we are actually doing it for our own sense gratification, to be honest. There are times where it is I would say not insisted, but recommended. I would say word recommended. That in the beginning days, it is good to listen to a single person to solidify our faith in Krishna consciousness and understanding Krishna consciousness. That many devotees say that, because like the creeper, it needs a support to grow. In the beginning stage, it will be like bending here and here and there. So support will, if you tie it, then will grow straight and then grow wider like that. But that support person will inspire that dependent devotee, that beginner devotee, by his purity and action, not by his force. You understand? That devotee who is a guide will not enforce upon this neophyte devotee or a beginner devotee that you have to be only with me. You should not listen to this person, that person, etc. But rather, by the purity of his message or his purity of his heart, he will inspire that devotee to surrender so much to him that that on its own the devotee will not listen to anyone else. It should not be insisted or made mandatory forcefully. That is how Prabhupada did. Prabhupada did not tell anybody that no, you don't hear, go here, don't go there. He was just talking Bhagavad Gita. So many Bhagavad Gitas were there in those days. Why all the devotees got inspired by him. He knows they will come to him. They will take the rasgulla, they will take the gulab jamun, they will take chapati, dal, everything, and then from there they will go to the nearby some coffee shop or something, and they will take that donuts and pastries and all that they will eat. Some of the Prabhupada disciples used to tell this, that when the class is not happening, Prabhupada will walk by the street, and at the end of the street there will be a cake shop. So these people were very fond of all these cakes, donuts, pastry, and all. So they will be eating there. When Prabhupada comes, they will duck down and they are not visible to Prabhupada. Prabhupada knows. He knows that, okay, these people are not sitting here. He will not say a single word. He will just come back and he will continue his Bhagavad Gita. And by his love only, he bound them. They were not willing to go anywhere. Imagine Giriraj Maharaj, for example, his father and mother, his father wrote a blank check and gave to Prabhupada. You please take this and give my son back. And Prabhupada gave it back to Giriraj Maharaj. Your father is giving this, you give it back to him. If you want, you go, but I don't want his money. Right? Giriraj Maharaj went and told his father that please write this much amount and give it. I will not come, but whenever I want, I will come and meet you. But this Lakshmi, you have to give it to Prabhupada. And Prabhupada told that I did not say anything to these people. Why are they chasing me? You understand, Prabhu? That idea itself has to be thrown out of our mind, and especially when we are advancing, we are going forward in our devotional service. Day by day, we are going forward, frankly speaking. Every day we are sitting and chanting our rounds and doing our preaching or reading books. We are actually taking one step or two steps or whatever steps ahead. So our character also should go that much far. It's not enough that I can say that I have done 30 years of chanting or 20 years of chanting. What is the effect of the 20 years of chanting? What has transformed you in you? That is more important. Right? So this point itself, don't listen to anyone else, is something which, if they say out of love, that's when I'm saying that they won't even, if they just show the love, automatically people will understand. You don't have to tell. And you will also have this idea, the mature devotee will have this idea, okay, this so-and-so soul is getting attracted to someone else also. And I am not his ultimate controller. You are inspiring that person. He's telling to Krishna. You are inspiring Krishna, that person, that to this so-and-so devotee. You should also have a favorable to move towards that devotee. You should also have a favor to that devotee who is inspiring him. You understand, Prabhu? I am supposed to inspire this devotee. That devotee is getting inspired by someone else also. If you are having good feelings about that devotee, a good respect and good favorable ideas about that devotee, you will not feel any negative this thing. You will tell the devotee to associate more. I will tell you one thing very practically that happened in our life. Uh, I am initiated by His Holiness Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj. You know that well. But I was in US for almost 6 years when after Maharaj initiation. For 4 years or so, 4 5 years, I was in the US. Before Maharaj initiated me in 2001. But from 99, I met Maharaj once in 1999. In 2000, I could not meet because Maharaj had a stroke in that year. He did not travel. 2001, he again traveled to America. That's the second time I met him. And Maharaj initiated me. In between, we had exchanged a couple of letters and all that. Postage emails and things are not there. No? So I was just writing letters and Maharaj was in India and he used to respond me. But from 99, I was also constantly associating one other Maharaj. I have told his name here. His name is Ganapati Swami Maharaj. He is also Prabhupada disciple. He is a Canadian body, Western body. But he has so much taste for Prabhupada's books. And I literally, he was like, we used to associate with him every month. He was always traveling in his moving van, that is camper. Whenever he used to come to Minneapolis, we used to associate with him, serve him, attend his programs. A very deep messages he would give. He would read so many ways in Prabhupada's books and he would listen to Prabhupada's lectures so many times. Great inspiration for him. So, till 2004, I was associating very closely with Ganapati Maharaj also and Mahavishnu Maharaj also. But with Mahavishnu Maharaj, my personal association was much lesser because he was in India and traveling. Only when he used to come to Minneapolis, he used to come to US, I would associate with him. Otherwise, always over phone only. And when I came back to India for good in 2005, 2004, 2005, actually Mahavishnu Maharaj told me a very interesting statement. I used to share some of the things which I learned from Ganapati Maharaj also. He would appreciate Maharaj very much. Mahavishnu Maharaj would appreciate Ganapati Maharaj very much. So he said, actually, I am not your guru. Ganapati Maharaj is your guru, he said. He said, I only gave you Diksha, but you learned a lot more by associating with him. So he is actually your real guru, like that he was telling. And later in 2006, not only 2006, before also I had met Ganapati Maharaj frequently, but after coming to India, I went to US a couple of times and I met Ganapati Maharaj there. I like to, even now I am in touch with him. So I met him. And that time, Ganapati Maharaj just glorifying Mahavishnu Maharaj like anything. Just telling, see, Mahavishnu Maharaj and Prabhupada are almost from the same timing, almost like very close in terms of maybe 30 difference. We were all very, very far away, and moreover, our culture was different. But if you see, both of them were brought up in the Vedic environment. They were completely from the Vaishnava background. Like that, he was telling that how pure was his life, was their life. So you understand how a person should approach when the one who is listening to them goes to others and so on. If there are philosophical differences, if there are philosophical discrepancies, right? Those things, if they are brought to this devotee, the guide devotee, or first guide number 1, about the guide number 2, then he may humbly suggest that please try to check this one. It may or may not be, to my knowledge, it may not be the right thing. Like that, he may suggest, but not with a combative mode that no, don't listen to him. He's very, very bad. He's following Apasampradaya. Those kind of thing is too premature and immature, I would say. So, from the fact that a person is not feeling insecure to see his whatever this is dependent devotee, the devotee who is learning from them. To the extent of their insecurity, we can understand, Prabhu, what is the purity level of that person. So we need to be very practical in this way, and we need more such devotees who are more mature in their approach. I would say even this current thing is Grace Radhesham Prabhu. Most secure devotee I have ever seen. Completely, no trace of insecurity at all. Completely secure. I've seen anyone else who saw him also very like childlike innocence. If somebody comes also, he will say, "Hey, you are here. You should give class." And then he'll ask the coordinator who arranges the class. Today is my class, no? Cancel my class. Let this devotee take the class instead of me. I'm taking anyway many classes. That kind of free of say insecurity, the devotee, we need devotees free from all this insecurity problem and controlling propensity. If you want to control, the best way to control someone is by our purity and love. That's what I would suggest. I'm sorry if I had given an extended answer, but I think it deserves that kind of an answer, because not only you, thank you for bringing that question. Actually, you have asked this for on behalf of so many other also who are struggling with this, whom to surrender, whom to go, and all this, being getting pulled in different direction, right? Like best example is there in Bhagavatam also. For example, Priyavrata. Priyavrata's guru is Narada Muni. And Narada Muni is giving the instruction to Priyavrata that you be a brahmachari. But Narada Muni's guru is Brahma. And Manu is also at the same age, because both Manu and Narada, both of them are Brahma's sons. So Manu wants Priyavrata to rule the kingdom. So he goes and tells Brahma that please come over and sort this issue out. So Brahma comes and tells our what do you call our Priyavrata, that you just follow your father's order, because right now this is the need of the hour. Narada Muni doesn't feel, hey, I am cultivating this Priyavrata. You are coming and spoiling my preaching in between. All my efforts are going in vain. You don't know how much I have struggled to make this person a devotee. Right? He didn't say anything. He was standing there smiling, and when Brahma told, Narada Muni simply accepts and moves on. And he feeling very happy, in fact. He did not complain that, hey, my instruction, why are you changing my instruction or a different instruction than mine? So devotional service is all about broad-heartedness. If somebody is giving, then you just give them that freedom. Nobody is ignorant. Nobody is masoom, to say, who doesn't know anything. Krishna is watching over everything. He will give us the only thing is that we should develop loving relationship with even those who may not be in the same line with us. We have that faith that, okay, this person is also doing some good seva. Unless and until it is coming and creating disturbance to the whole community or in the devotees who is like a junior devotee. You understand, bro? That's when you can somehow take some thing. In fact, in a gentle way, we have to do that. It's up to you. I'm just telling this to you. That's all. If you don't listen, your thing will be don't create a big thunderstorm in there. Yes, Prabhu?
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Any other question, Prabhu?
Prabhuji, as we were discussing that, seeing my attempt in that lonely place, the personality of Godhead who is transcended to all mundane spoke to me. And you were discussing that whether a situation is favorable or unfavorable. What is important is that our devotional service should continue.
It should continue.
Suppose situation is unfavorable, and I am practicing devotional service to my standard. What is my standard? I can't, with that, I can't expect that Krishna has to speak to me. It is Krishna's choice. whether he reciprocates or not. So
Sorry, Robert. According
he-
to your standard, your limitation, what is that?
pure devotee. I am a mixed devotee, but at my level, whatever possible for me, I am doing that devotional service in unfavorable situation. Now, whether reciprocates or not, it is in Krishna's hand. Decision is in Krishna's hand. My is that I have to keep continuing in that disturbing situation my devotional service. That is in my partner, whether Krishna is reciprocating or not. This I have to apply.
Correct.
So now, in this, just now that 21 slok you have read that the beginning of devotional service starts from the point when one is free from at least two forms of material mode, namely mode of passion and mode of ignorance. Now, our consciousness keeps on moving from passion to ignorance to sometime goodness, then again back to passion ignorance. So here it is saying it will start when we are free of these two. But every time we are in the mixture of any of these three combinations, so in that case, our devotional service is not started yet.
Prabhu, if devotional service not started or not, don't worry about it. It is like, say, for example, you are running race. Your actual running race may start after a lot of training. Nobody goes and starts running, getting into the running race just from the beginning itself. You have to do training. You will have a guide. They will teach you. You have to improve your stamina. You have to increase your what you call the agility, and all those things have to be done. So that is all part of your whole this thing, whole running race. Correct. Same way, the actual devotional service means Krishna accepting our devotional service. That will start when we are offering it in a purified mode. But until then, Guru is there to offer you, to purify your thing and give it to Krishna. You understand? We may give it to the mixed thing. This is what I have. I am giving it to Krishna in a mixed way. But you give it to the Guru. Guru will see that and he will make it purified and he will remove all the unwanted, the other contaminations due to our lower modes, and he will offer it to Krishna. Rather than he will offer it to Krishna. You understand? So when we say devotional service is not yet started, means devotional service you have not started with that purity yet. Until then, Guru will offer it to Krishna. After we get into that mode, then we can reduce that what you call the amount of work that Guru has to do. Like in the beginning days, Guru has to encourage even when we are come to contaminated service. But say after 15, 20 years, Guru will chastise us. He will expect much more from us than what we were doing 10, 15, 20 years ago, isn't it? We are expected to, when you keep doing, automatically the process will help. So devotional service starts means at that point we are offering a pure devotional service on our own. Before that, Guru is there to help us, provided we are surrendered to the Guru. Provided we we openly offer this to our Guru or share the Guru that convey this to our Guru, even though Guru knows. But from our point of view, we have to be open our heart and say that I am having all these thoughts. Please help me go out of it, come out of it. That is what Guru will do. And that is when maturity is required from us. Maturity means I should not disturb my Guru anymore. I should not offer contaminated service and disturb my Guru. Guru has so many other people to take care. Why should I waste his time in spending so much time for me? Let me do more in sincere devotional service. And that's when the Guru sees that this person is advancing faster, then he will give him more responsibility. You go and preach. You go and run some programs. You go and run your groups and bring more devotees, make more devotees, more people to bring more people to Krishna consciousness, like that. Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhuji. My questions are over now.
Okay, Jai. Beautiful questions. We didn't even realize. Now there are two more questions. One is Sapna Mataji asking in the chat, what if one is not initiated? Again, Mataji, I'm telling you, this initiation, if formally it happens when we sit in the fire, like how a marriage happens. But heart to heart, the connection, the moment you start following the spiritual master, then the heart to heart connection is already started. So Prabhupada already also told once that those who are physically initiated by me, they are not my disciples. Those who are following my instructions, even if they are not physically initiated by me, they are my Sampradaya disciples. They are my disciples. Sampradaya. So, frankly speaking, if you are not initiated, by default, we have until that point, Prabhupada will take care of us. Or he is our Shiksha Guru. Pada Guru or Founder Acharya Guru, whatever name you want to give. Because studying his books only, we came to this process. Listening to his lectures or anyone else speaking, they follow his books. His books are the source for is the shastras for all of us, isn't it? So until you are initiated, also Prabhupada is our Shiksha Guru, and after you are initiated, also for whatever reason, Guru goes away, and also then also Prabhupada becomes the by default. He is the one to take care of us. I hope that helps, Mataji. So this initiation thing and all this is the spirit. And when you are in your heart, when you accepted somebody as a guru, by default you are following his instructions. As it is, he is the one who will take care. The guru will not differentiate between he is taken diksha. I will save him first. He has not taken diksha, but he is only taking shiksha from me. I will not save him. The guru will not discriminate between his shiksha and diksha disciples. That is why our line itself is a combination of both. Right? Yeah. So, Anjan Prabhu, you raise your hand for a while.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandas Pranam. Prabhuji, before this question, the Prabhuji was making a statement saying that I might be doing some service and Krishna might, whatever might be my quality, Krishna might be or might not be reciprocating service with me. So what I was thinking was, should our understanding be that, okay, Krishna is reciprocating, maybe I don't recognize, or what should be our understanding, Prabhuji?
I was about to say that Krishna is always reciprocating. His silence is also a speech. By being silent also, he is giving us an indication. Not, again, when he is saying that I am not going to give you darshan anymore, I regret that you will not be able to see me anymore because of these three qualities, three disqualifications. He's actually telling something. He's saying that improve your qualities, remove these three things, then you'll be able to see me not just in the form when I show you, you'll be able to see me everywhere. That's the message that he's giving. His silence is also speech. Krishna's silence is also speech. There is no time in his silence. When he is silent to the non-devotees, he is telling them that you are not willing to listen, so I am not going to speak to you. But then they are not able to listen. So it's silent. The devotees also, sometimes he may not reciprocate. He will just stop speaking. It means whatever I wanted to tell you is already told to you. You please take whatever essence from these words and then move on the devotional service. That's what he means. That is why after the 4 verses, when he stops speaking, Narada Muni understood the import of that verse, of those 3-4 verses, and he jumps in joy. He understood what Krishna wanted him to understand. I see a couple of questions here. Krishna has allowed me to do devotional service reciprocation. Yes, Anurag Prabhu, very, very true. He is allowing us to do devotional service itself is acknowledgement that yes, I am pleased with you. I am pleased with your seva. Or you are surrendered to someone who is pure devotee. Even if we may not have that eagerness, we have somehow or other served someone who is very dear to Krishna. And through that we get the entry to the service. Thank you, Anurag Prabhu. So this reciprocation goes deeper and deeper. And that comes by our maturity. The more we realize Krishna in such ways, the more it means that we are getting more and more mature in our seva. Right? So this part about maturity and a few other points in the purport has to be discussed, but we need to stop here. Krishna willing. And we will discuss this part about maturity and other things next week. Krishna knows. Because it's a very deep subject. Let's do that. And we will stop here unless and until there is any other questions from anyone. We'll stop here and let devotees continue with seva. I have this thing I told a few weeks ago also that Krishna willing, it's better to move our discussion to 4 o'clock in the second half possible. But I don't know how many of you will be able to do that. I will put a message in the group. I've been telling about it, but somehow I'm missing that. If it is convenient for everyone, then maybe we can do 4 to 5:30, 5:20 like that. That way, morning time I'm getting some seva, so it may create that time. I'm okay either way. 10:30 is also okay, and it's also okay. But I was just thinking maybe we can move to this timing. It can help some like Chandra Prabhu and all who is attending from UK. It will be a better timing for him. So I will leave it to you. I will post that poll, please answer, and then we will take a decision whether to move or not. So, thank you so much, Prabhu Smataji. Hare Krishna. And Krishna willing, tomorrow evening, we will see if we can do. We have to do Prabhupada's Maranam. We'll see tomorrow evening. I will post a message about Prabhupada's Maranam also. Thank you. Hare Krishna. And Pranav Prabhu Smataji. Anantapati Vaishnava.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna.
So much, Prabhuji. Hari Om.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam.
Thank you.
Dandavat.